It's time for the Tennessee staff to turn up, and there are some big decisions about to get made. So let's bring on Austin Price of Volquest. Austin, some Tennessee targets are going to be coming off the board, so I want to talk about them right now. Let's go with wide receiver Amari Jefferson, who the four-star wideout is going to make his decision live right here in the On3 studio. So I want to ask you, where does Tennessee stand as we got like 3 weeks until his decision?
Well, it's still super tight, Josh. Going to take a visit to Alabama and Tennessee to end the month. Tennessee on the 28th, Alabama on the 29th. Some will tell you he's a lean to Alabama. Some will tell you he's a lean to Tennessee. He likes to keep people guessing, and I think that that's why there'll be a lot of misdirection the next few weeks as he heads into that August 5th announcement.
Which way you leaning, Austin?
It's a coin flip. So much of this recruitment screams Tennessee to me. Quickest path to the field, Tennessee. Baseball program, considering he's a two-sport athlete and wants to be, is Tennessee. Opportunities, as an in-state guy, long-term, after your playing career's over with, all that stuff just screamed Tennessee to me. Now, some things scream Alabama because Alabama made him uber priority. Several months ago, Nick Saban spent a ton of time with him on his official visit. And so that's why I think he's really, really torn on this decision as we head to the middle part of July. Either way, he continues to rocket up the board for most. He's rocketing up the rankings. He went from 256 to 103 in the latest On3 rankings. Kid's a really, really good player.
All right, let's stay at the wide receiver position. We know Tennessee's recruiting this one really hard too. 5-star wide receiver Mike Matthews out of the state of Georgia. We don't know exactly when he's going to make his decision. Could be here in the next couple weeks, but most likely between now and the time the season starts, Mike Matthews will be off the board. Where does Tennessee stand? Who's the biggest competition right now?
Well, that's another one, much like Jefferson. Tennessee seems to be the common theme here. Is it Tennessee Clemson? Is it Tennessee USC? Depending on who you ask, Tennessee's always the team mentioned. Boo Carter, when he was coming off his official visit, said he thought it was Tennessee Georgia. So, again, Tennessee seems to be the common theme there for Mike. And I think he got a lot of his questions answered that were, kind of created some doubts on some previous official visits with some teams that were talking about Tennessee's offense. I think he got those answered on his OV. And, again, continue to see signs trending toward the Vols.
Yeah, speaking about trending, I have a pick in for Mike Matthews to Tennessee that I put in, I think like the last day of May, right around there. I put it in for Tennessee. And Tennessee fans, if you're looking to check the temp on that, I still feel good about my pick. So we'll see what happens here over the next couple of weeks with Mike Matthews. I want to talk right now about running back Braylon Russell. I know he's a top target for Tennessee, and he has come out and said he's going to make his decision on Friday, July 14th. Tennessee, Arkansas, South Carolina. How do you feel this one's going to end?
Well, I felt like Tennessee was the team to beat for a while now. And Arkansas has made a run. I think they've made it quite interesting here the last couple of weeks after the OVs. Being an in-state school that's able to lean on him on a daily basis with people in the community. I still think Tennessee's in a good spot heading into Friday's announcement. But to me, it is a two-team race, Tennessee and Arkansas. Again, I think South Carolina is like Georgia is for Amari Jefferson. They're in it, but they're a third.
And then a week later, another prospect that Tennessee fans have been waiting on for a couple months right now, 4-star linebacker Edwin Spillman will announce his decision. The 4-star linebacker goes 6'1", 220 pounds, right down the street here in Nashville. How does Tennessee look for his commitment?
Well, it's hard to imagine him going anywhere else, right? And I think that's probably been Tennessee's biggest hurt, is everybody's just assumed Nathan's there, so thus Edwin's going to be there. And I think that's hurt Tennessee. And that's not Tennessee's fault. The best thing Tennessee's done is recruit Edwin like there is no Nathan, and that there is no Givens, and there is no inside, tracks to landing Edwin. And I think Edwin's appreciated the fact that Tennessee has not taken him for granted just because his older brother is already on campus, that they've recruited Edwin for Edwin. Ohio State really impressed Edwin. I think they're very much still in it. It wouldn't shock me if he said Ohio State. But again, I continue to believe it's going to be tough for me to see him going elsewhere. I think Tennessee, likely gets good news next Friday. But again, he's played things close to the vest. He's had a lot of cloak and dagger, and I can respect that because if I was him, and same thing I would tell, like Coach Heupel doesn't like when people just assume when the job opens at Oklahoma that he's going to run back there.
Right.
Edwin Spillman doesn't like it that people just assume he's going to go to Tennessee because older brother Nathan is there, and he wants to be able to pick Tennessee, if he's going to, for Tennessee, and not because older brother is there.
All right, I got to ask you about another fan favorite on the Tennessee message boards, and that's Jordan Ross, and for good reason. He's the number 33rd ranked player overall, the 4th ranked edge in the country. Now, he hasn't exactly set a decision date either. What are you hearing right now on his recruitment?
Well, he said the whole time he wanted to take it to November, December. His mom told us, on the official visit, that she had kind of advised him, like, hey, let the season play out. The teams that you're interested, let's see what happens with their season, all that stuff. And then you started to see some teams kind of, Keith put it out there that, Florida looked like they were going in a different direction, on Jordan Ross. But Jordan had been really from the On3 NIL event at the end of May through his OVs had been gone like every weekend. So his mom's kind of turned his phone off. Let's kind of get away from it. Let's think about it. I don't think it goes to November, but I don't think it's ending next week either. So, I think that this is something like a September, October deal. And, again, Tennessee carries a lot of momentum right now, but that means they got to carry momentum for a few more months, which is hard to do at times.
Yeah, and spots are filling up, so we'll see what Jordan Ross does. Maybe there's a summer decision, maybe not, but I do think Tennessee sits in a pretty good spot for him right now. Speaking of top prospects, Kai Bates, the cornerback, the 4-star corner, is currently trending at 24% to LSU. They're the leader, but it's a very tight race. He's taken official visits this summer to Alabama, Florida State, Tennessee, and LSU. He's out of the state of Florida. Florida State is really the only in-state team that's in on him. How do you feel about Bates as we're now in mid-July?
Well, I think that he's been leaning Tennessee coming off his OVs to Tennessee and LSU for the last few weeks. Now, the family, they're originally from Alabama, even though he lives in Florida. They've recently convened in Alabama to kind of go over everything, talk about everything. What is the best option for Kai Bates? And, he's kind of went dark on all sides, the LSU side, the Tennessee side. He's trying to lay low, do some deep soul searching and thinking. And, right now I think it's really close. I think I would lean Tennessee at this point, but LSU is still swinging hard there as they want to add another corner. They both do to this 2024 class. So, right now I lean Tennessee, but I still think it's super close between LSU and Tennessee.
All right, before I let you go, I want to check back in on some big visits that happened about 4 to 6 weeks ago that at the time we talked a lot about on the Inside Scoop. So I want to see if Tennessee still has traction with these guys. Williams Nwaneri, he took an official visit in early June. Ryan Wingo on an unofficial visit in May. And 5-star edge Dylan Stewart also took an unofficial visit in May. Just checking back here with you, Austin. Does Tennessee still have any traction with these guys?
Well, with Nwaneri, they still talk to Nwaneri. It still feels like all the momentum is with Georgia right now for him. And so, I think Tennessee's running a third right now to Oklahoma and Georgia for Nwaneri. As for Dylan Stewart, I don't think much is going on there at all. He took a visit, and I think that's all it was. And then with Ryan Wingo, he's been here several times. It wouldn't surprise me to see him end up here at the end of the month. And I think he'll officially visit here this fall before he makes a November-December decision in his recruitment.
So Tennessee, it just seems like right now that this wide receiver class between now and maybe the start of the season or now and signing day is really going to look a lot different by the end. So do you think that Tennessee is in position to potentially land 2 to 3 of these top end wide receivers?
No doubt. I mean, they've got Braylon Staley. I think he's going to continue to rocket up the rankings. Young man from Aiken, South Carolina. Can really run. They've already got him in the class. And then, we'll see what happens with Mike Matthews, Amari Jefferson, Ryan Wingo. I think that Tennessee's kind of targeting those. And we'll see what happens here over the next few weeks or a few months. And it could be one of Tennessee's best wide receiver hauls ever. Going back to the days when they landed Robert Meacham out of, Oklahoma and Jason Swain out of Huntsville, Alabama, and Robert Meacham or Brett Smith out of Arkansas. Could be one of Tennessee's best wide receiver hauls ever.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, a year after you sign Nico Imaliava, the top quarterback in the country, of course the wide receivers are going to want to come. So it should be an exciting 3 to 4 weeks for Tennessee fans. Austin Price, thanks for stopping by the Inside Scoop.
Appreciate it, Josh. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you smash that subscribe button for me. And remember to check out all the videos on the On3 YouTube page.